What's up, guys? This is Darius from the FPL Island Guys podcast. On this episode, I am going to talk about me using my wild card for game week 2, potentially using my wild card for game week 2. And in the comments, I want you guys to convince me why I shouldn't after I show you my moves. So let me show you guys my game week 1. I finished 424K. I had 77 points. Got good returns from my man Callum Wilson. I think he is going to stay in my team long term. Obama Young. I had Obama Young. Captain Salah. I had to. Mitchell from Crystal Palace, 6 points in the back. I got a assist from Timo Werner and a clean sheet from Sam Maximin. So 3 points from him, and everybody else kind of dud. Um, Trent Alexander was awful. McCarthy a little bit unfortunate um, to get caught in the counter attack and that goal, but all in all, um, not bad. I had Philip some leads who I knew is going to stay in my team. He's 5. He has been Leeds talisman last year, so I'm going to consider him staying in my team long term as well. But let me just show you guys right now. Just I'll show you guys my team so you have a better view. Um, but I am seriously considering this. All right, so here we have it. So this is my team. I have Taylor on the bench. He was on my team last year. Great returns. Charlie Taylor from Burnley. Vinagre, no points. He didn't play. And Matt Ryan, who is a save machine, has 1 point on the bench. And moving into game week 2, this is my option, right? So I have without any changes, I have Salah as captain. I still think Salah would be a good captain for that Chelsea game. I have, Callum Wilson who playing home to Brighton, Harry Kane, Timo Werner against Liverpool, Aubameyang still in there. He's going up against a bad Watford defense, which a bad West Ham defense, which I think should be noted pretty well because you don't want to have any West Ham assets in that back line. My goalkeeper, McCarthy against Tottenham, maybe it might be a lot of saves. I don't know. Trent against Chelsea, I do think Chelsea is going to score. So I don't, not too sure about that. And overall, my team looks like it could pick up here or there. I might get 2, 3 returns. Now, my thinking for using this wildcard is simply this. In my opinion, I have seen all these teams play, right? The only teams that I haven't seen play that I would want assets from is Man City and Man United. Um, I have it's this hunch that Man United is still gonna be similar to how they were last year, and if not improved. You have the attacking three up top. They brought in Van de Beek as well. You have Pogba, Bruno, and that team to me is gonna give you like 3 games, 4 games where they could hit teams for like 5 or 6. So that is a possibility this season. That's how I look at it. That's my prediction. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but it's FPL. That's where we play it. Now, something with my team is that after seeing game week 1, learning, okay, I did believe that Newcastle would be a better team than last year, especially with Callum Wilson. Hendricks is in there. But defensively, they solidify themselves defensively. So what Leeds could do. And the reason why I'm considering using my wildcard, it's simply because I want to pick up cheap assets that could increase in value, like the lunch from some last year. And if I keep my wild card, and let's just say I don't know what's the purpose of keeping it while all the players increase in value, and then you're stuck with some guys who can't play, I could potentially have a full team, including bench, with even 4.0 defenders that play and that could bring returns right now. I could bring them into my team, and I can make moves so that in the future, even if I made changes, I could downgrade to certain players. And let's just say from Aubameyang, if I wanted to downgrade to Aubameyang to KDB, that's still 5 points in my bank, or I could downgrade to certain players. So I have the power at the start of the season now to downgrade. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put together a wildcard team that I will consider for game week 2. Now I don't think in game week 2 the average would be as high. I think the average was like 50 maybe this game week 1. I don't think the average would be that high, but I would say I don't. I want to be aggressive and I want to put my foot down. Like I said, I always play for the mini leagues. This year I'm playing to get a top 10,000 finish. So I want to put my foot down, put my put my foot on the X and just go. So this is a team I'm considering for game week 2 with a wild card. All right. So now after after watching the restart, I saw Arsenal. Arsenal to me improved defensively. I like what Arteta is doing. They they conceded apart from that Man City game where they sat back. After that, they were solid defensively. They were solid game week 1, and and I would like to put Leno in goal. So I would put Leno in goal, with Leno in goal, um, and have Matt Ryan there. Actually, I'll take Matt Ryan out for now because with the wild card, I could make moves. It's gonna you're gonna see the move I'm gonna make, but I'll have the ability with the 12.0 midfielders that I have to make changes. So I'll leave Ryan out for now. Um, and what I'll do is Aston Villa Steer, who might have a chance to play. Not sure, but I'll put him in for now at a 4.0. Now Vinagre didn't play. Um, tough loss on that end. And I'll go with Leicester's Justin for now. Brought in he got a penalty for Leicester, got an assist. Leicester's decent. Johnny Evans is out, but Leicester is always so decent defensively. See you in Tuesday. So I think that they could keep some clean sheets, maybe 10 to 12 clean sheets this season. Move across to the back. Now I want in my defense someone similar to Trent that could bring in clean sheets, a team that could bring in clean sheets. And for me, I want somebody that could bring in clean sheets and could also attack as well. So that's why I'm going to Manchester United's Luke Shaw at 5.0. Luke Shaw, most probably going to be the starting left back. Sometimes he gets up, he gets a couple crosses in. I'm going to take Trent out for now. And what, like I said, the wildcard does for me is gives me the opportunity to fit in the 4.1 people who are starting, who we didn't know that would start. And that goes to Leeds, right? Strujig or Struig, I know I'm butchering his name, but at 4.0 starting center back, he didn't really have the best game, but he played the full 90 minutes. I could see Leeds keeping a few clean sheets, dominating some of the weaker teams. Possibility. I'll keep Mitchell in there, 4.2 starter. Charlie Taylor, for sure, stays in my team. He was there last year. And then I move to midfield now. Now, I have Salah. I have Aubameyang going into this week, game week 2. I'm going to go to Manchester United's Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes. Right? Now, Bruno to me has the same mentality as Salah. They're just hungry for goals. They both on penalties. And they just they're playing like if they own themselves on fantasy. To me, that's how they look like every single game. They like want to get everything, take every free kick, take every um, penalty. They attacking in the box. There's never a minute that they're not trying to push in the box for goals. So I think having right now here, Aubameyang, who's more laid back. He's not like those guys, but sign a new contract. He has West Ham coming up this week. I think I need to have him in my team. Salah, who is going for goals no matter what, and Bruno, who's going for goals no matter what, or assists. I think Salah and Fernandez are the two guys that I feel like I would want to have in my team moving forward, simply because of how hungry they play. And what I would do is this one player who, I'm taking out Saint Maximin, who looked good, but he was a part of a 4-4-2 system uh, that you know he's not. He might give me a return every from my eye test once every four weeks. A player that I saw play, I think he's going to excel past last year and take his game to a next level. I think he could. This player could get about 12 assists and about, let's just say, 10 goals, 9, 10 goals. Is Willian. Now he rose in price value at 8.1, which kind of messed me up in picking my forward situation, but it's all good. Um, Willian is that player who's taking corners. He's pushing up in the Arsenal attack. He had 9 goals. Yes, he had 9 goals, 9 assists last year at Chelsea. And with this Arsenal team, I think this Arsenal team is more fluid than the Chelsea team was last year. So I think, with him, I think I was gonna pick him for game week 1, but I didn't know what position he would play, or if you would take the set pieces, or what was going on. And after seeing that, I think he would be a perfect fit to get into that team. Now, looking at this here, this guy Phillips, from Leeds, um, Calvin Phillips, he has been the talisman for them last year in the championship. He was behind every single most goals that they had. He gave me a assist last game, even though he was on my bench. And at 5.0, I think he is one of those high value picks that you keep on your team, um, going into the next, going into the season. I think Calvin Phillips is a guy I want to stay. He's staying in my team, similar to Willian, similar to um, Bruno and Salah. He's staying in my team. Now, Aubameyang, my plans are to maybe switch him to KDB, maybe game week 3. KDB is starting the first season game against Wolves, a tricky game, you know. So Man City dropped points against them last year. So not too sure about having KDB switch right now for either Salah or Aubameyang. I don't see that happening on my team. But Aubameyang is staying in for this game week, and if he performs well again and looks sharp, I might leave KDB out for next week. So you never know. But moving on now. Now up top, I do think Harry Kane will give us 18 to 23 goals for the season. I do think that Harry Kane will do that. That's what he does. But do I think, in this short space of time, I could get something, I could get uh, some returns from another player in this short space of time that could do something similar to that? Yes, I do. I do think so. I think Anthony Martial could give me returns um, quite fast. I think Martial, fitting him in here on top, could give me returns in this short. He has Crystal Palace home, Brighton away, Tottenham, Newcastle, Chelsea, Arsenal. It's a couple rival games there. I could see Martial within those game weeks, hitting me, if not every week, every other week. So Arsenal, for Martial, sorry, Martial for me is a guy I have to fit in there. So moving on now to Callum Wilson, who to me is going to be a fixture in my team. I was a big fan of his at Bournemouth. Um, that guy, he's just in the middle of everything. He's silky smooth, good finisher. Not sure who will be on set if he might take penalties. He didn't take it at Bournemouth, but even if he's that guy who will get the penalty. So look out for him. He will get you a lot of action in the box. He's still on my team at 6.5. He's way less than last year. I'll take him. I'll leave him in my team, and this is where I had issues because I, I do think Timo Werner will give returns at some point. He might score against Liverpool. I think he'll give us returns. But for the moment, um, I'll take him out. I would like to put in on this side Bamford. Bamford is 5.6. He scored that game. He looked good. I know they have Rodrigo uh, coming off the bench and they paid big money for him. But Bamford, he scored. He might start again against Fulham. And looking at it, I think, you know, he is a good fit. Now, what I originally wanted to do was bring in um, Dallas as one of my defenders, but seeing that I have three Leeds assets, it's or Ailing actually looked more attacking. Seeing that I have my three Leeds assets in there, I don't think I'm gonna move it. Um, but yes, I would have definitely switched Ailing for Justin because I think Ailing will give me more attacking returns. But I can't go wrong with Justin because he's on Leicester and they have known to be solid in defense. And this is what a wildcard team will look for me. Steer, who probably I would switch, if I make a big move in midfield when I get points. If I need, I'll bring in Matt Ryan in so that I can interchange Leno. But Leno's going to play majority of my games. I think Arsenal's going to get clean sheets this season. Justin, left back. Justin right back, sorry, at Leicester. Ricardo Pereira is out so far. So um, keeping him in there. Luke Shaw, to have a solid, a guy I could play, leave him in every game week. Luke Shaw will be there. Struage or Struage at Leeds, 90 minutes, butchered his name, but for sure, he's in there at 4.0 to have a starter on the team 4.0 and Mitchell 4.0 giving you returns. Both could probably Mitchell gave me returns last game, clean sheet, sorry. And this week, Leeds possibly could do something against Fulham. Um, Charlie Taylor, can't go wrong with him. He gives you a lot of bonus points as well for Burnley, especially when they get clean sheets. He's probably the guy in that defense with Ben Mee. With Ben Mee's out right now. So that has me a little worried, but Charlie Taylor is in there. And then, stack up that midfield. You know, Bruno, Willian, Salah, Calvin Phillips, Aubameyang. Those are five guys I would start game week 2. And on top, Martial and Wilson, Bamford. So I have options for this game week 2 and beyond because I could always, if I'm not comfortable with like Aubameyang, he had a bad game or something, I could always downgrade. I have 212 players on my team. Bruno, Bruno is 10.5, and I have point 0.3 in the bank. Um, I can make moves, and even if I make a move in game week 3 to game week 4, that's just one move. But I have those 4.0, that 4.2 defender that um, having have bringing in Bamford at a cheap price now. Um, I think seeing Willian, I think Willian is my card right there because Willian to me, I think, is my personal gamble, and this is why I would want it. These are how many? These are about 7 moves I would have made to have a team that I feel super solid with, that I could interchange the back line any given time. Um, bringing in Britliner, having in that midfield that could bring in over 50, 60 points. At any given week, that midfield line is solid. This midfield line this week could give me 60 points. Having Martial in there, Martial I could either downgrade or upgrade depending on what I do in midfield. I feel like this, you would have to. How could I not? How could you convince me not to use my wildcard? Because that there are more transfers coming in. Let's just say, for example, Thiago comes in and he looks great. What would he come in as? Or if Bale comes in and he's ripping up, would Bale convince? Let's just say Bale was a 10, and I had Bruno at 10.5. Will Bale on a Mourinho team convince me to switch over from Bruno, who might be giving you the same points? What is the point of keeping the wild card in that scenario? Like how could you convince me to keep the wild card in that scenario when I could make the changes that I want to make? Like, I want Willian in my team. I want to have the power to bring in, KDB at some point. I want to have two 4.2 defenders that are playing on my team, in my team. Have happy with Wilson on top. Like, I'm overall generally happy with this team. Happy to bring in Justin, who's on a team that could bring in clean sheets. Kyle Walker-Peters was good. He played really well. But do I think Southampton is going to get more clean sheets than Leicester? I don't think so. So I brought in Luke Shaw on a team that, do I think Luke Shaw and Manchester United are probably going to be up there for the clean sheets with Liverpool at the end of the season? Probably. I took out Trent. Now, do I think Trent's not going to whip in a corner maybe this weekend and Virgil gets his head on it? Probably. But could I live with the fact that I have Luke Shaw against Crystal Palace? I have Luke Shaw against a bunch of teams that they could possibly get clean sheets. Solid with this team. I I, I took out Harry Kane for Martial. In the space of, I look at it this way: in the space of 5 games, how much more chances do you think Harry Kane is going to get than Martial? That's a question I would ask myself. Callum Wilson staying in my team no matter what. How many more chances is Harry Kane going to get than Martial? Or is Martial going to get more chances? I just downgraded and saved myself uh, one 1 point over Martial and brought in, Bamford as well, who could possibly bring in returns against Fulham. He's favorable to bring in returns. So that is the wild card. I know people say don't use your wild card, keep your wild card, but why would I not want to make the team that I want? It's after this game week, and if William hits again, William's going up. Callum Wilson's again. People like him is going up. Um, Martial hits too. Martial is going up for sure. A lot of people are going to jump on the Manchester United bandwagon if it goes up, same as Bruno. Um, and yeah, you're gonna find yourself struggling for points. Do I think that Man City this week is going to hit Wolves 4-5? I don't think so. I think Wolves have a solid backline. Bolly and Cody, they're very solid defenders. 2 solid centre backs you could possibly find in the EPL right now. I don't think that Wolves are gonna get blown out of the park in terms of goals. So I don't think the Man City assets are gonna increase. And at the start of the season, yeah, I think Calvin Phillips is going to rise. I think Calvin Phillips of Leeds is going to rise. I think if Leeds get a clean sheet, their defenders are going to increase, and so forth. So I am jumping on pick any team I want right now. If you could convince me, please do it. Please convince me. What scenario is very likely to happen? Is it you were afraid that if Thiago comes in, I could downgrade Willian to Thiago, or they might be the same price at 8. So what in it is it there for me to think that Bale, Thiago, whoever you name it, are gonna come around and blow it out of the park? I don't see it. Um, Chelsea, Chelsea, I think needs time to gel. I think they do. Now, if Team Warner scores this week, happy for him. But in the same respect, I think they're gonna. I think that Chelsea team is tricky because they're just as tricky as the Man City midfield team, because we don't know who's going to start, and we don't know who's going to get 90 minutes. And if they score 2 goals, we don't know where the 2 goals are going to come from. If Arsenal scores 2 goals and I wake up in the morning and I miss the game, more likely than not, Willian would have been at the end of it, maybe Aubameyang. If Manchester United scored 3 goals or against Crystal Palace, I missed the game. I wake up. I live in LA. I don't really miss games, but I wake up. The games are at like 4 a.m. I wake up 6 a.m. and Manchester United's up 3-0. More likely than not, Martial or Fernandez would be in it. If Tottenham scores 1-0, I'm not sure if Harry Kane would have been that 1-0 goal. So that's my mindset. That's my thought process. You guys, please try to convince me some way or the other that this is not the way to go. But for me right now, that's it. I'm out.